last night you were supposed to have, because we didn't do it on Friday, you were supposed to have watched the video on the 6-4 notes because I posted it on Google Classroom. So you're supposed to have this filled in, and you're also supposed to have done the back. If you did both of those things, and you just showed it to me, Danielle, I'll look at yours in a second, then you got a bonus on the next test. Everyone else needs to have this done and in my hands by the end of class on Friday. By the end of class on Friday, I need this in my hands. We're going to say it's 15 points in the 30% category. Now, here's the real fun thing. Me or Danielle or whoever starts the video tomorrow, within the video, I'm going to actually put my key to this on the screen for a second. Whoever is in control could pause it, and then Mia could say, oh, yes, I was supposed to get 12, or oh, no, I was supposed to get 33. Let me erase and do this again and make it perfect. So I'm going to put the key up tomorrow. Another incentive to make sure you watch the video tomorrow. Okay, are there any questions about the 6-4? I am going to post the video on Google Classroom as well. I can set it where it will post the second you get in my room tomorrow afternoon. I'll have it set so it'll post when you're in here. Okay, tomorrow is Justification Thursday. I want the justification document turned in, partly because I want to read what Trey writes, partly because I want to know Trey did it, and I know he will, and everyone will turn it in. Cassie, remind me to ask you for a favor in a minute. Okay. Are there any questions about the 6-4 or the justification? I know you need lots of time on your puzzle, the thing you were doing with your group yesterday. I'm still Mia's for a second. For the puzzle thing, I'm going to put the key back under the screen. Mia has obviously worked out E on her paper. She didn't write on here. She worked out E. Mia does not have to work out all 12 squares. If Mia only works out 2, I forgot, but her group has it delegated just so. As long as Mia's group has all 12 squares done, I don't care that Mia didn't do J, as long as someone at Mia's group did J. Okay? There was a little confusion on that. We're going to make this an easy 30% category grade too. Trying to boost your grade. Need a little help with them. Everyone's cool so far? Okay, there's a puzzle you're going to get tomorrow. It's just in case somehow you were on top of it, you had your 6-4 done, you'll get your 6-5 done, and you were just looking for something to do. I'm not going to craft the puzzle it's not done tomorrow. In fact, I'm not going to make the puzzle due until, let's say, next Tuesday. So you could potentially do it this weekend. The puzzle's not going to be due till next Tuesday. I'm going to be nice. We were supposed to take a test next Tuesday in my mind. My mind has already decided we will move that to Wednesday. So our plan today, let me grab my notes. The plan today is to do 6-5 notes. So we've done 6-4. I've spent all my time that I'm going to spend on it. My plan today is to do 6-5 notes on rhombuses. Tomorrow you're going to do 6-5 notes on squares. And then Friday we'll do 6-6. Monday we'll do 6-6. Tuesday we'll review. Wednesday we will test. So we have a test on 6-4 to 6-6 next Wednesday. Okay. Are there any questions about any of this? Then get out your yellow thing. We're going to add to that. As a reminder, your yellow sheet should be very useful to you, buddy. Your yellow sheet should be very useful to you. The reason I think your yellow sheet should be useful to you is because you can use it on the next test. Now, when I say that, that came out wrong. I'm going to hand Victoria a new blank, brightly colored sheet with these boxes on Wednesday when we take a test. Now, either Victoria knows how to fill it in and make it useful, or she doesn't. Either she knows what this Egyptian little lyrics mean or whatever, or she doesn't. But if she can fill it in, then it will not only be useful to her on the test, but I'm going to give her a bonus. I'm going to give her a bonus on the test. I'm probably going to give her 5 points for having a pretty handout that she filled in from memory. Okay, I'm going with my rant. No, I'm thinking. I will have everything. I know Cassie, like I typed in a 0 for her and she fixed it. So I'm really behind on my grading. I have like a mountain. But it should all be done by Monday. So Sunday night, if you check your grade, it should be right or as accurate as I know it. So if you're concerned, because like poor Cassie has a low grade and she shouldn't, then check it Monday. Okay. Okay. She shouldn't. She's turned it all in and I'm just behind. It comes to me. Okay, so I want to go over, I'd better go over the bell ringer before I forget all about it. Anyone have an answer for number 1 on the bell ringer? Yes, Dylan.
360.
How did you get 360?
I subtracted 2 from 180. There.
Okay, and what'd you get?
123 for added.
Okay, and then what'd you get for Y?
I did the same thing with 72 and got, what did I get? I got 108.
Okay, and what about Z?
I got 129 for that.
How did you figure that one out?
Because,
that one doesn't have a number.
well, since 2 of them are already built in, I can just add those together. Subtract the sum.
From? Perfect, and what'd you get? Isn't that 51? Perfect. Okay, and so you added 123, 108, and 129 together, and what did you get?
360.
360. Okay, me and Dylan discussed how he worked that problem. I hope you were listening to his explanation because it was a good one. While I love Dylan and his work is 100% correct, he did way more work than I intended to. Please, does anyone know why the answer was what it was without doing any math? Yes, dear.
Because all exterior angles on the polygons equal 360.
Keyword was exterior for the bajillionth time. Exterior, sum, it's every single time going to be 360. I know Dylan didn't get it wrong because I don't remember it being wrong on his test, but there were many who on the last test, it was 5, 6, and 7, the answer was 360 for every single one of them. Exterior angle sum, 360, 360, 360. It's always 360. Dylan's just confirming it. Okay, I am mad at number 2. Does anyone know why I'm mad? Yes.
Because it doesn't have the right answer.
Please tell me what the right answer should be.
It would be 2/3.
Why is the right answer 2/3?
Because it has to be parallel, and parallel is the same.
Parallel have the same slope. Perfect. Okay, so my options are either to add an option to E, which is 2/3, or there is a second option. What is the other option?
C.
What could I change the problem to? How can I make the answer B? What word would I need to change so the answer would be B? Perpendicular. If I were to change the problem to say perpendicular, then the answer really would be B. So we got 2 options here. Either way, it's not working for us with what it was. We either got to add an option or change the wording. Okay, tomorrow when you get a puzzle, on the back of the puzzle is this cool looking diagram. So I know we've been filling in, I don't have it with me. Of course I don't. I know we've been, no, it's not due till next Tuesday. I know we've been filling in this yellow sheet and it's very, very useful, I agree. But I'm starting to get a little confused by all the different shapes. So I really like this handout that you're going to get tomorrow because it shows you, like, why are parallelograms and rectangles so similar? Because a rectangle is a special kind of parallelogram. We're going to find out about rhombuses today. Why are rhombuses and rectangles so similar? And then, why a square is apparently a rhombus and a rectangle make a baby. Like, why does this happen? So this diagram should help you figure things out a bit more, I believe. Okay, remind me about the 3 things that I keep going on and on about with parallelograms. There are 3 of them. If you didn't have...
Diagonals bisect each other. Opposite sides are parallel. Opposite angles are equivalent.
Diagonals bisect. He said opposite sides, congruent and parallel. He is correct. And then opposite angles, congruent, and what about the consecutive angles?
They are also congruent.
No. Thank you. I got him tongue-tied. Okay. So if the, what's it called, the Egyptian, the H word? Hieroglyphics. It didn't want to come out. Hieroglyphics. If the hieroglyphics meant nothing to you, meaning that the dashes and rainbows meant nothing to you, then I would definitely list the words that Dylan just told me. The 3 things we need to know. There's something you need to know about sides, something you need to know about the diagonals, and something you need to know about the angles. Okay, we've already tested on parallelograms. We're supposed to be moving on, but because rectangles and rhombuses and squares are special kinds of parallelograms, we're really never going to let it go. So if you missed it on the last test, you've got to get it together because it's only going to get worse. Okay, rectangles are special kinds of parallelograms. There were 2 things we talked about yesterday that make a rectangle special. What is one of the 2 things? Dylan, you're on it today.
All the angles are 90 degrees.
All the angles are 90 degrees. That is one of the 2 things that make it super special.
The diagonals are all congruent.
The diagonals are congruent. Thank you very much. Okay, so again, with a parallelogram, we know the 2 little pieces match on a diagonal. But what we don't know is that this whole diagonal matches this whole diagonal. We know that with a rectangle. Dear, please do. Yes, so I did not put that in my list, but that Kaylee is on it because there are 2 other things that, okay, so obviously rectangles are a little kind of easy. So the only way to make them harder, because they're going to make them harder, it's geometry class, is they want you to focus on the fact that there are 4 triangles inside this rectangle. And these triangles are all isosceles triangles because of the diagonals being congruent. So she is right. There are 4 isosceles triangles. And that is very important. We also need to know one last thing, which she wants to tell me. What is that? Yes, so a lot of the problems, we could have done more with parallelograms. What they do a lot with rectangles is that this angle and this angle are congruent. They're alternate interior. They are supposed to match. That happens a lot in the rectangle problems because otherwise the rectangle problems would be too easy. Okay, are there any questions about rectangles? Okay, today we're going to talk about rhombuses. Tomorrow you're going to talk about squares. A rhombus has the characteristics listed on your notes. I'm going to look at those characteristics and fill it in on my yellow diagram. Okay, just like a parallelogram and a rectangle, the first thing is that the opposite sides are parallel. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in my arrowheads. The next thing on the list says opposite angles are congruent. So if I do a 1 rainbow here, I'll do a 1 rainbow there. 2 rainbow here, 2 rainbow there. The next thing on the list is diagonals bisect each other. So I draw in my diagonal as best as I can, which is not as pretty as it could be, that's for sure. Bisect means cut in half. So, let's see, this side should match this side, and this side should match this side. Now the next item says consecutive angles are supplementary. We already have that labeled because of the 1 rainbow and the 2 rainbow are 180. 1 rainbow, 2 rainbow, 180. We already have that marked. Okay, so far all the characteristics we've colored in are shared with a parallelogram. So if I were studying tonight, I would study the bottom 3 that we're about to talk about. In fact, I'm going to put a star by those. Because these are the 3 characteristics that make a rhombus unique. This is what makes it a rhombus. The first characteristic is that all 4 sides are congruent. So if that's a 1 dash, that's a 1 dash, that's a 1 dash, that's a 1 dash. All 4 sides match. They are congruent. What other shape has all four sides congruent? Square. So obviously we're going to talk about the rhombosis friend, the square, tomorrow. It will also have all four sides congruent. Okay, the next thing is diagonals are perpendicular. What does that mean I need to add to my figure? Diagonals are perpendicular, so what do I add to my figure? How am I going to show that on my yellow paper? I need to add in a right angle where the diagonals cross. Thank you. Diagonals are perpendicular. And then the one that I'm not even sure I'm going to show because it starts being too many rainbows. It is each diagonal bisects a pair of opposite angles. I'm probably just going to write a note that diagonals bisect angles. Because I started coloring it in first and second period, and it started being a bit too much. Because if I start, like if I color in this half, well that half's supposed to match, and it just gets confusing. So don't. Just write a little note to yourself. Okay, so again, there are three things we're going to remember today. With a rhombus, all the sides are congruent. The diagonals, they're perpendicular. And the diagonals bisect angles. Every single time, it seems like we're talking about sides, diagonals, angles. Okay, any questions about our yellow figure? Okay, then let's look at, we only have 5 problems, and they shouldn't take us long if we focus and then you go back to your puzzle. They told me that ABD is 60, and then they asked for the measure of BDC. What is the measure of angle BDC? Is it? It is 60. They are alternate interior angles. They're supposed to match, so it should be 60. Dylan's thinking ahead. Eventually, they are going to give you a giant angle, ask you for half, and half of 60 is 30. He is thinking ahead. Good. Okay, the next question says AE is 8, and then they ask for the length of AC. How long is AC? It is 16. Half of the diagonal is 8, which means the whole diagonal is 8 plus 8, which is 16. Good. Finally, we get to a more challenging one. CEB, we need to know the measure of that angle. CEB, we need to know the measure of that angle. Don't tell me I know you know. It is 90 degrees. We know the diagonals bisect, the diagonals are perpendicular, meaning there's a right angle. So CEB is that 90 degree angle. Yes. It's like that worksheet where we kept using that same shape over and over and over again, and it annoyed you. We're doing it still. Okay, and I'm with Danielle. My shape's getting a little crowded, so I'm going to draw the exact same figure for number 4 without a little junk on it. So there's B, C, A, E, D. They asked me for CBD, which would be here. They say it's 58. And then they asked me to find the measure of angle ACB, which would be here. How am I going to do that? This is probably the hardest question out of the examples.
32.
How did you figure that out?
Because that one's 90, and then the other one's 58, and then you add them together and subtract that one.
What'd you tell me? 32? 42?
32.
You sure? Is it 42?
Yeah,
It's 148. My math is wrong. You're right. Okay, so if we back up, what Will is seeing that some of us are not is that BEC is a triangle inside that rhombus. He knew that there was a right angle here because that's where the diagonals were crossing. He knew there was a 58 here. This is not his first rodeo in geometry solving a triangle. He solved for the third angle and got that it was 32. Have you started? Okay, so again, to make things a little more complicated, they might make you solve triangles. Okay, and then the last one looks the most difficult, and for some reason, first period was stuck on it, but I'm confident 8th period has got it. Okay, so it says that AD is 2x plus 4. Let me zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. It says that AD is 2x plus 4, and then it says CD is 4x minus 4. So what am I supposed to do? Why can I set them equal to each other? All sides are congruent. So I don't know why, but first period just did not like that one. So we sat on it for a few minutes. If I subtract 2x, I get 4 equals 2x minus 4. Add 4. 8 equals 2x. So that means x equals 4. I'm out of room. I want an A in geometry class, so even though I've done all it asked of me, I'm still going to plug it in because, again, I want my A. So 2 times 4 plus 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. 4 times 4 minus 4. 16 minus 4, also 12. I know 100% that I'm right. Okay, tomorrow, after you finish the little tiny bit of notes on squares that I'm going to record of myself doing, you're going to work on the worksheet on the back. Notice that I've changed some of the problems to make them a little less Pythagorean theorem-y. Okay, I'm going to let you return to your puzzle now. I will not cry if it is not turned in by the time you leave today, although I will be mad if it's not in the bucket by the time you leave me tomorrow. I will put the key now on the board. That is unless your name's Caitlin, because I haven't seen you in forever. I will post the key post-haste. Where did I put my key? I had it poster. There it is. Here is the key.